Hey, this is Roxanne, and welcome back to the channel where I show you how to amplify your creativity using simple creative tools and techniques. For this one, this is the second one in the series of showing you just how I wrecked my copy of The Creative Act. This is a Rick Rubin book on creativity that we read as a book study. And I took some notes in it, so if you missed the first video, I'll link to it here in this video, and so you can see the beginning of this process. So what you're seeing here, as I continue with this neurographic style, I'm making choices with color. So I'm testing out and seeing how these paint pens, how they blend, how I can create a little bit of depth here on this back cover. So with it, I had the idea, I mainly wanted blues, purples, and now the greens coming into it. And so you can see here, they don't always match just perfectly. So this is a set of 30 markers that I'm using, and I've got some sparkly blue. I'm blending and trying to figure out how they blend. I've never used these markers before on this texture. So this truly is an example of my creative practice. So we call this the creative meditative flow, where you just respond to what shows up on the page. So you notice I've taken this bronze color because as I worked with my cool colors, I just thought that this kind of orangey metallic would look really good next to the dark blue. It would look okay next to the lighter pastel kind of lavender. And so it would give me a little bit of contrast, but overall the back page still is pretty much cool colors. So you can see, I think that lavender and adding in a little bit of the pink kind of pulls it together there. So this is one of the things that I really love to do. I've filled an entire journal with this type of mindful doodles or neurographic style. And the key to it is, for me, and the way I practice it, is I'll have a little rule. And so one of my favorite ones is to pick the colors I'm going to use and then to fill in all the spaces using only those colors. And so one of the ways I do it is just to make sure that I don't put two of the same color next to each other. And so a lot of times I'll just bounce around the page. And so you can see this once I started adding in that orange kind of color, then it made sense to me that would be a great color to put around the ring there in the center. So with this, I've got one last choice of color. And yes, I think the blue is going to work really well to balance this out. And so you can see it wouldn't have made sense. I couldn't have put the green because I already had the green. The only other option, I could have put the lavender there, but I don't think it would have balanced it as well. And so this is just my eye and kind of what I'm seeing there. I did some little tips around the edges of it. And now this last piece, let's add a quote to it. So this was the very last quote from the book. And one of the things that you'll know when I'm working in a journal style like this, I don't sketch my letters. I practice, one of the years for my 100-day project, I lettered 100 quotes. I've lettered 100 words. So I've had a lot of experience. So I've kind of built these like rulers in my eye. And then the other thing I like to do is to just play with the spacing of the letters, the shape of the letters, to let them fit whatever shape I'm trying to fill. So this is one of the exercises from the Doodle lettering class, where we take a shape and then we fill it with a quote. So that's your parameter. And then you just work with manipulating the letters and the spacing to fill that space. So I hope this was helpful to you to see kind of how I think through adding the colors in, and then how I determine like the spacing. So you can see it's one word per line. And then I just expand or connect the letters a little more to take up the space that's there. All right, in the next video, we will be painting the front cover of this book. Thanks for watching.